Good afternoon. George Cavaligos for HFT Bonds. Interesting day. Bullish reversal days for bonds and notes. Made new lows last night and then recovered. Not only did we recovered the old lows at 125 even plus and 133.03. My friend Gary Fullett at LTG Trading would call that a possible spring, where the market breaks, makes a new low, and then recovers. Elliott waivers call them throwovers. Either way, the market's working its way higher here. How much higher is the question? That's what we need to see. We're bumping up against, I think, the first fib retracement of the last leg down in the 10-year note at, 125.12. 125.12 plus. Bonds are still a little bit below there. I think it's 133.28. They're trading 20 right now, which is another old low that we've just overlapped. Remember, we broke out of the rising wedge formation last week, and we caught that trade nicely. I hope you guys were all over that. Rising wedges in Elliott wave are often fourth wave phenomena. And now the market makes a new low and then recovers the old low again. It's another bit of evidence that maybe Friday's, or last night's low, I should say, could have been the bottom of at least some type of fifth wave. We've seen a lot of fifth wave lows here lately, though, and the market keeps powering lower. But I think what I'm trying to say is we got a short-term bounce ahead of us here. Timing is appropriate. The auctions start tomorrow with the 3-year note, 10-year note on Wednesday, and the 30-year bond on Thursday. The old trade was, the market would be weak into the 30-year auction. You'd buy the 30-year auction, and some crazy number, I think it was like 36 of the last 38 bond auctions. If you bought them, you were up money 24 hours later. That lately hasn't worked. The last two auctions, if you bought them, you were wearing them pretty fast. So we'll see how the market shapes up wave-wise this week before we put out another get long for like good kind of trade. But I think we could see a bounce in here. I highlighted that in the morning email this morning saying, dealers would love to try and get this market up a little bit and avoid any further disaster-type sell-offs and to scare away any of the buyers. We need to get some buyers looking at these auctions this week, and when the market's in free fall, nobody's buying them, and the dealers end up wearing the whole thing. Now they don't want that, obviously, so be interesting to see how the reception for these auctions is. Stocks are looking a little bit wishy-washy. The Nasdaq spent most of the day lower on the day. It's coming back right now. It's about unchanged. The S&P's been pretty much in positive territory all day. I thought we were going to see another one of those settlement gap fill trades in the equities like we saw Friday, where the market came back, tested the settlement gap, and then rallied back and closed near the highs. But it doesn't look like they're going to be able to force it much higher right now. They're a little bit overbought there. And I think that provides some buying interest for these auctions, and it helps get these auctions done. So we'll see tomorrow. I'd like to see the markets trade a little bit higher overnight here and then see a bit of a pullback. I'm looking for, after we see some kind of a confirmed high, a fib retracement pullback of this rally. The rally, or the trade this morning was a nice setup, guys. After last night's bounce off the lows, we had a 618 retracement on the 10-year. I know the numbers right off the top of my head. The high was 29 last night after putting in an 11 plus low. So we went down to 11 plus, rallied up to 29. Came back down to 18, which was exactly 61% of the rally from 11 to 29. Held and turned in reverse there, and that was up my trade of the day. I did try to sell them up here this afternoon. Never got any satisfaction out of that and got stopped out for a bit of a loser there, but not a bad day. That's about it. Have a great night. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning bright and early in the email.